Hi guys, and welcome to the Box Office Club, your hub for all things movie news, reviews, numbers, and updates. We're your hosts. I'm Emily.
And I'm Kate, and today we'll be talking about the box office breakdown for this past weekend, February 3rd to the 5th.
But first, we have a special shout out to our dear friend and talented musician, Jordan Cohen, who created our amazing intro and outro to this show, which you're about to hear right now.
This weekend saw the opening of two wide studio releases, those of which were Knock at the Cabin, M. Night Shyamalan's newest project that we actually did a straight from the seat review on.
So if you haven't listened to that episode, be sure to check it out.
And then also 80 for Brady, a new football comedy starring Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin, Rita Moreno, and Sally Field.
We also saw some releases go into semi-wide this weekend, meaning it was put in over 1,000 theaters, but not in as many theaters as that of Knock at the Cabin or 80 for Brady. So those titles include The Chosen Season 3 finale, BTS Yet to Come to cinemas, and the new animated kids movie, The Amazing Maurice. So there was definitely a lot at the box office to keep an eye out for. So let's get into the numbers for this weekend and see how those openings affected the box office and see if they're performed up to their projected expectations.
Yes, let's get into it. So we're going to go domestic top 10, 1 through 10, and we're going to start off with the number one movie for this weekend, which was Knock at the Cabin. It opened to $14,127,170.
Wow, that's kind of lower than I thought it would be. I kind of thought it would be a bit more with it being an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
I know, I'm shocked by it too, I'm not going to lie. I believe it was predicted to open between like 18 to 25 million, so well below expectations.
Definitely. Okay. It's kind of strange. Just because with M. Night Shyamalan being such a divisive director that we talked about when we did this straight from the seat review, I thought a lot more people would go to see what it was about and then either love it or hate it.
Yeah, because we were like, when we heard Shyamalan was doing a new movie, we're like, we're going.
Yeah.
It was a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
We picked our day, we picked our time, and we were there.
Even considering that the last movie was old and you hated that movie.
I did hate that movie.
And I didn't mind the movie. We still both were like, we're going to go. And
Old opened better than this.
Are you serious?
Old opened, I want to say 16 to 17 million. I probably closer to 16. So
Okay.
and that was like, I want to say like right when we got back from the pandemic, like the summer after the pandemic.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was a lot of enthusiasm to go see a Shyamalan movie right after COVID, but a lot of people weren't going to the movies, and now we're still in the COVID era, but we're doing so much better. So for it to be his lowest opening since The Sixth Sense.
Wow.
Which was his second movie ever.
Okay.
So his first movie was like not even on the face of the planet.
Right, yeah. And then Sixth Sense came. Okay, wow. I will say, I remember, I think Old was the first movie I decided to go see at theaters by myself. And I was working at the theater at the time, so.
And I was like, you need to go see this. I even told you, I was like, this is a bad movie, but you need to go. Because I don't know how to explain it to you. You don't go.
Yeah, I was like, I like M. Night Shyamalan movies, so I'll go see it. But you saying you need to watch this movie and really not giving too much about it, I was like, you know what? I think I will go. I think it was like my day off from all my jobs. I had a day off, so I was like, I'm going to go in, I'm going to see it. I asked my brother to go. He said, nah, he's not a huge M. Night Shyamalan fan.
Can't blame him for that one.
Nope. So
Eric made the right choice that day.
He did. And I went and I saw it by myself, and I was excited because I got to eat all the popcorn by myself. So that was a plus.
That was a plus. Speaking of plus, Old got a better cinema score than Knock at the Cabin.
Okay. So I feel like then I think Old is then maybe coloring this opening weekend. Then I feel like then people watched Old and were like, I'm not giving M. Night Shyamalan any more of my money, and that might be this.
I can't blame them, but it was so much better. And I'm sad to see that. I mean, Old didn't get a great score; it got a C plus, but Knock at the Cabin got a C.
Okay. For opening weekend, because it's still subject to change then, right? Or no, it's just the opening for the score.
That's a great question.
Okay.
Polling moviegoers at major movie releases on opening night.
Okay, so it's not going to change.
It's not going to change.
Just
It's there.
that. Wow. All right.
And word of mouth plays a big role in the box office
really
now
does.
because people they're so used to streaming. If they're like, "Oh, I'm hearing it's shitty." It has a 63% for an audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes, which is worse than the critic ratings.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Then all right, so that all factors in. Okay.
So I don't know what type of legs are going to be on this movie, and I'm sad about it. I'm actually very upset because I expected better. I'm glad that it took number one. I'm glad Avatar got booted for the first time in like 8 weeks.
Oh my goodness. Wow. That's pretty good for that one too. But yeah, I feel like if it's either because of Old having such a negative response, I guess is the word, a negative response. I wonder if that's maybe the main thing, but I wonder what else made people, besides streaming services or word of mouth or anything like that, I wonder what else was kind of pushing people away from going.
I feel like it could also be the source material because I heard this actually from a different podcast, the New Flesh podcast, that reviewed this, was saying that the movie is basically, it's like verbatim for the book for the first 2/3. And then the last third, Shyamalan does his Shyamalan thing. But the ending of the book is not a good ending.
Oh.
And people who have read the book do not want to see that ending play out on the screen.
The book ending or?
The book ending.
Oh.
And I don't think they know that it's different.
Okay.
So people might...
I'm really interested in reading this book now.
I've heard it's good.
Wow. Yeah, I'm definitely adding that to my list. That's crazy. Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, with all the different things, maybe talking people into it or talking people out of it, I feel like those are maybe the main things to it.
All I know is it is a sad day for Shyamalan when Old beats Knock at the Cabin. And I hope people decide to keep going to see it. I hope it has some legs at the box office and stays a little longer. But I don't know. We're about to ramp up in the movie season. It could get buried. We have Magic Mike. Ant-Man and the Wasp comes out in 2 weeks. That could bury a lot of movies.
Yeah, I have a feeling that it will because it looks really good. From the trailers, it looks really, really good. And then with Magic Mike and, but yeah, all the movies that are coming up, I'm really excited about.
So let's talk about number 2 then. This is a movie we did not go see. We did not do a review on it, and that is 80 for Brady. It opened to $12,701,640 this weekend.
Yeah, 80 for Brady. I love the actresses that are in this, but I have no desire to watch this movie, mainly because it's about Brady. I just kind of want to leave it at that for my reasonings, but I do hope that the actresses, because they're phenomenal, I hope that this does really well for them.
Yeah, it opened higher than I thought it would, personally. But it opened lower than what it was tracking. It was tracking between 13 and 19 million. So still below its estimations by quite a, not too much, but
Not as much as Knock at the Cabin.
not as much as not. You're right.
So that's good.
I thought that was ambitious. I thought it was going to open to 10. I didn't think it was going to, I thought it'd fall third under Avatar. So
I think there's enough Patriots and Brady fans out there. And then also because even if you're not a Patriots or a Brady fan, you're a fan of those actresses.
yes.
And I know my grandma went to go see it, and I know that she's not a Brady or Patriots fan. So I know that she went because it's geared for her. So.
My grandma also is not a Brady fan, and she very much wants to go see this movie. So I get it. It has, you're not going to believe it, a cinema score of an A-.
Oh my God. I'm gonna say it's because of the actresses. I'm not gonna say because it's because of the content.
Brady is in it. He's in it.
Yep.
Critics not so hot on it, 64%. So about a little under what the critics thought of Knock at the Cabin, but the audience score is a 90%. People are loving this movie.
Good for them. Yeah, good for them. So I do see here that like it part of the campaign for the movie though was the matinee pricing all day long,
Yes.
which I think would be why it opened so much lower than predicted, because it's not regular theater ticket prices, it's matinee pricing, which is I think a great idea.
Strong campaign,
Yeah.
especially mixed with the campaign that the movie was pushing for going with friends. Because I think the people behind the movie knew that Brady is not going to be as big of a factor in it as they thought. This movie was obviously made well before all the Brady drama of this season, the retiring, the unretiring, his personal drama, which is not ours to speak on. But it was obviously made before all of that.
Yeah.
So you got to do some damage control.
And
what do? You market it as a movie you have to go see with your friends.
Yep. Absolutely. And then it's discounted pricing.
Yep.
So
It's 4 friends going on a trip, going to see the Super Bowl. You got to get your 4 friends to go see. You got to go have a girls' day and watch these people have a girls' day. It's not about selling the one ticket. It's about selling the group tickets. And that is what this movie was pushing.
So I think that for those campaigns that they did, I think that it's right on the money for where it ended up, and for it being maybe the estimated it being a little bit lower than that, I think it's probably just then the pricing for that.
I think I agree. I personally, like I said, I was clocking it at like 10, but I also thought that Knock at the Cabin was going to open bigger. I think a lot of movies this weekend underperformed for how they have been. Maybe a lot of people weren't going to the movies. Valentine's Day's coming up. They're going to wait to go to those romance movies. It could be part of that. But I clocked it personally at 10, but I thought it could maybe even do 15 because that's about where book club opened, and they have
And
some of
it's
this. Yeah.
Same vibes. Yeah. Okay.
So Brady proved me wrong. Shocking. Okay, and number 3, let's just move on down this list. Get away from, we will retire our conversation on 80 for Brady.
Fantastic.
And we'll move on to the number 3, which is Avatar: The Way of the Water, making $11,335,304. It's about a 29% drop from last weekend, and it is the first weekend not in the number 1 spot since it opened back in December.
Wow, that's quite a fall, but I think with those 2 other movies, I think that makes sense why it was going to bump that kind of out of the spot.
Imagine being taken down by 4 old ladies gonna go see 80 for Brady.
To be fair, those actresses, Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin, I mean,
They're all wonderful.
amazing. So if anyone was going to knock Avatar out, I'm glad it was for those 4 ladies.
But are you sure it wasn't knocked out by
Oh.
Knock at the Cabin?
You know what? It was.
I've
Totally
been waiting
was.
all day to make that pun. Itching to get into the recording studio.
There we go. You got it. You did it. So so Avatar's been bumped down to the spot number 3, but it's still doing really, really well on the all-time domestic charts, right? It's at number 10 right now.
Yeah, just for the domestic, adjusted for inflation, lower down, 25th spot. But you know, when you're going all time, you are going all time.
All time.
You gotta adjust for those numbers. Unadjusted for inflation, it's at $636.4 million,
Whoa.
right underneath Jurassic World. That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
In 8-9 weeks, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot. Wow. And I mean, I enjoyed the movie. Have you seen the movie yet?
I have not seen the movie yet. I know.
Highly recommend it.
I'm gonna get I'm gonna get eaten alive. I have not seen The Way of the Water yet.
It is lovely. I think lovely is a good word for it too, because it is beautifully shot.
I was still working at the theater when it initially came out. I didn't see much of the release because I jetted off to Florida for Christmas because it's cold here. But the couple days I was working when it was open, I would just kind of just watch the end credits while I cleaned the theaters because it's gorgeous.
That was one of the reasons why my brother agreed to go see it again. He's like, first off, it's a great movie. I will go see it again. But secondly, to watch the end and like listen to the music and for the end credits and the scene and everything, he really liked that. So I was like, okay, I'll do that.
I see why it's making money. It's killing it at the box office. It's probably going to keep killing it. I think it might have some competition in the next couple of months, you know, with Marvel movies getting ready to blow the roof off this place. Hopefully, I know Guardians of the Galaxy is going to destroy both me and the box office.
Yes.
But no, I know I need to go see it and see what all the hype's about, because all I can hear is James Cameron did it again.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure how I was going to react because I like the first Avatar. I like most of James Cameron's movies, but I was like, it is such a long time since the last one came out. I'm like, I don't know if all that time is going to help. And I think it does help with where the story goes. I think it was actually a really good move on their part.
So what do you think? How do you think that's going to affect 3, 4, 5 that they have planned? Because those are now going to be boom, boom, boom.
I think it makes sense. It kind of lines up perfectly with the timeline of what happens in the second movie. So I think it's actually a good move on their part because it did really well when it first came out, and then they were able to hone their skills to make the second one over all that time, and then they generated enough interest in it again that I think it was actually brilliant.
James Cameron just knows how to make money. Because not only is it number 5 on the all-time domestic, we can't even begin to explain how much money this movie is making internationally. The worldwide box office, it is in 4th place with $2.174 billion, billion with a B, nestled very nicely right under another one of James Cameron's movies, Titanic.
Yep.
I think if Titanic was not getting a re-release this coming weekend for the 25th anniversary, it could pass it, but it's not going to, now.
Not with it being re-released.
And don't worry, we'll be covering all of this later this week on our weekend preview. A quick little plug for that now, right before we move on to number 4, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. It made $7,879,055 with only a 25% drop from the last weekend. It was Puss in Boots' first weekend since release that it made single digits.
Oh, wow. Okay. That was doing really well. I heard it was really good from a lot of different people. I've
so good.
not seen, I don't think, any of the Puss in Boots like spin-off movies. I think I've only seen Puss in Shrek. Like the Shrek movies. I don't think I've seen him in any of the other ones, but I heard it was really good.
I've heard it's beautiful. I've heard it's great. I really want to see it. I leave at a really inconvenient time every year for Florida. A bunch of good stuff drops as soon as I'm on that plane, and I miss it. And by the time I come back, more good stuff comes out. Gotta watch those bad January horror movies, you know.
Yes.
And I miss it, but I fully intend on seeing this movie. I heard that they want to do a potential Donkey spin-off
Okay.
because of how good Puss in Boots is doing. And they're like, they're not as good as Donkey. And I was like, get him in the studio. Let's do it.
That would be great. I would absolutely go and see that. I mean, I want to go and watch the Puss in Boots ones now that I know that they're great. I don't know. I think a weird time of, trying to fit in when I would see them, but now,
It's
I'm going.
it's a struggle. It is a busy time, but it's good that studios are releasing this content. They are doing everything they need to do to try and get people back in the theaters, and I will always appreciate that.
We love to support our local theaters.
Yes. So
we
go
like
do
that.
it. Go see Knock at the Cabin, Puss in Boots, Avatar: The Way of Water. If you're a fan of any of those actresses or Tom Brady, go see 80 for Brady. I'm not going to tell
Yeah.
you not to.
I might. No, I'm just kidding.
The Bills Mafia coming out in here.
Can't help it.
But yeah, so Puss in Boots doing great. Going to probably continue to do great. It does have some competition now.
Yes. Yep. The Amazing Maurice is set to come out. So we'll see how that.
It is out.
Right. Yep. It already is out.
It is out. Yes, limited release. Well, not limited. It's over 1,000 theaters.
Okay.
But barely. So if it does good, hopefully it will. Roll out a little more because they don't give kids as much programming as they should.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, I mean, I understand. Taking kids to theaters, that's a hassle in and of itself. So,
Yeah.
but if you got some older kids that know how to handle their time in a theater, then absolutely great family outing. Then if you've got kids, to get them out there and get them into their local theaters, so then they can foster their own love of going to the movie theaters.
Yes, I agree. I agree. I know whenever I have a little nugget, they will live at the movie theater. Okay, so let's jump in to number 5 because I actually forgot this was coming out, and it is BTS Yet to Come to Cinemas. It opened at an estimated, because it's not fully confirmed yet, $5,100,000.
Okay. I did not know that anything was coming out for BTS. I didn't know that there was another one coming out. So
Because this is their second one.
Yeah,
They had one
yeah.
last year, BTS Permission to Dance. This one did open lower than the last one.
well, I did no idea. I knew when the last one was coming out because we have a friend who loves BTS, so
Yes.
I was told that it was coming out, so I knew about it, and I think I did see it other places, but as someone who's really not on social media, but enough, to be able to see when movies are coming out, I knew nothing about this movie.
Yeah, and I, as someone who lives, breathes, eats, researches the box office every day, I knew another one was coming. I did forget when, and I feel like I didn't see a lot of marketing for it. Still strong top 5.
Yeah.
So the people who knew about it and they knew about it. They were there. I don't know if this is a one weekend only. I know BTS Permission to Dance was. It was just
Okay.
one and done, at least domestically. So I'm wondering if they're going to keep it out longer.
That will be interesting to see.
But yeah, so BTS Yet to Come to Cinemas. Maybe it will stay in cinemas. Okay. And that brings us to number 6, A Man Called Otto, with a 36% drop. It made $4,247,603 in this week of release. So still pretty decent for A Man Called Otto. I think it's dying down a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think now it has some direct competition. 80 for Brady. It's going after that same demographic. But that demographic has been keeping A Man Called Otto in the top 5 for quite some time. So they have power. They're coming out.
Yeah. So it just is going to be moving around, and with all these new movies, I think, coming out. So
Yeah.
But Tom Hanks is usually a pretty big draw anyway, so.
That's true. That's true. Number 7 is Megan, or M3GAN, as it's written. It made 3.8 million at the box office, 39% drop. Didn't take quite the nosedive I was expecting it to.
Yeah, that didn't move down as much as I thought it would. With another similar genre coming out there, so that's pretty good for that. That was an interesting movie.
It was. I think social media really helped Megan out.
Yes, I saw that everywhere.
Everywhere with the little creepy dance.
Yep.
I know you did not like that. I saw you in the theater hating every
Yep.
second of it.
Yep, there's just something about robots dancing, especially when they don't look like robots.
No, that's true. It's true. But no, I was worried about how it was going to perform with Knock at the Cabin. The only real difference, well, I mean, there's a bigger difference, but it is same genre. But Megan is PG-13. So it does have that up. It does have a cinema score of a B. I know people look at that. I'm pretty sure the Rotten Tomatoes is better on it too. Reviews are better. So people still chose Megan over Dave Bautista.
Wow, that is interesting. I'm nope. If it's between Dave Bautista and a dancing robot that doesn't look like a robot but looks like a little girl, yeah, I'm going Dave Bautista.
Oh yeah, 100%. And you never know how these things are gonna play out. You think maybe there's enough time between them because Missing came out. We're gonna talk about that because that's our number 8. Like, it's also a PG-13 movie that could have dethroned Megan, and it didn't. And then we have another one, and it took number 1. Megan wasn't able to do that. It was not able to dethrone Avatar, so we can give Knock at the Cabin that.
There you go.
But she's holding on.
Yeah. Yep, she is. And I wonder, because it might be directed towards a younger audience with that PG-13, so more teens and that age, or even parents taking their younger, maybe not quite teens, to go see that. Because I think when we went to go see that, there was a woman there with a younger child.
Yes.
Who was scared at a lot of points. But I think that like the older kids, like 10 to 13, I think it's geared towards them. So
Yes, and it has that appeal. So it's at 7. I don't know where it's going to be next week. We'll talk about that on our weekend preview. We'll give our predictions. I don't think it's leaving the top 10 next week. Missing, on the other hand, our number 8 movie made 3.7 million at the box office this weekend, a 35% drop. So a pretty decent hold for a movie that people were not expecting to hold, not even expecting to open that well. It's doing particularly good. Again, another PG-13 kind of thriller out on the market right now.
I still want to see this movie. I feel a little bad that I wasn't able to go see it opening weekend, but I generally, until we started this, I don't really go to see opening weekend, just with scheduling and stuff. But now I have to make time, so I love it. But this is a movie I definitely want to see because I did see Searching, which is not basically, but the same vein of the style of filming. So
Same people
Same
too.
people
So
too, yeah.
like a sister sequel, not directly.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed watching Searching, so I did want to see Missing, so I'm glad that it's holding. So maybe I'll find some time to go see it in theaters, but I just feel bad that I wasn't able to see it opening.
I as someone who did go see it, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I didn't know what to expect. I don't think I saw Searching when it came out. But I had seen other screen horror movies like Unfriended.
Yep.
So I kind of knew the style and the jazz, but I was thoroughly impressed by it. I'm trying to remember back to it, but I remember being enthralled by it. Like, I didn't want to go look at my own phone during the movie.
That's good.
It finds a good way to captivate you while maintaining true to what it's trying to do, which is be a screen horror movie. So I think you would like it.
Yeah. Because when they first came out with like those screen horror movies, a lot of people didn't like it, didn't understand how it was going to work out. I think Searching, from what I've seen so far, because I haven't seen Missing, Searching is my favorite of the screen ones, because I think I did see Unfriended. I think there was one other one, but I liked the thrilling aspect of Searching. I liked the story that, it was this father trying to figure out what happened to his daughter, and I thought that it was very interesting, especially because I don't have Mac products. So I was like, oh, this is interesting. It was almost like, this is how people use Apple products. And I was like, oh, okay, this is very new to me. So I was learning stuff while I was watching
This
it
one's
too.
going to be advanced for you because it is the kid looking for the mom. So the more, technology adjusted.
Okay.
So it's good.
Okay. I'm interested to see if that definitely makes a difference with how watching Searching was, because I was very much on par with what the dad was doing, trying to find everything. I was like, I didn't know that they could do that. That's okay. That's cool. I think he was like searching how to do things. But so I'm very, all right. I'm definitely gonna see this then. I just gotta find a time to do that. But I'm very interested in that aspect of it. That's really cool.
Yeah,
Thanks.
you should. It's a recommendation from me to you and to our listeners. If you haven't seen it, go see it before a lot of this crazy weekend starts coming down and it gets lost in the shuffle, because right now it is at 8. Okay, moving down the list. We got 2 more left in our top 10. Number 9, The Chosen, Season 3, the finale, opened to $3.6 million for the weekend that it was open, because I think it's just a 1 weekend thing. Very low opening for this project.
Yep. So this was supposed to be between 8 and 12 million, and yeah, 3 million is
And
not quite up there.
No, it was even tracking closer to 10.
Ooh.
Because back in December, the season premiere was in theaters. They did an episode 1 and 2 on the big screen,
okay.
and that opened to about 7, 8, I think closer to 8. And they, finales usually get more buzz when you talk about a show. You talk about the finale.
Absolutely.
So you would think, but no, not even 4. Didn't even make half of what it was projected at.
Wow.
Have you seen The Chosen? Do you know what The Chosen
I have
is?
no idea what The Chosen is.
Okay. I can't help you. I don't know either. I was kind of hoping you would. So I don't know. Maybe it was just a bad season. Season 1, 2 was a high.
Yeah.
Season 3 opened. Everyone flocked to see it. Maybe season 3 was a bust, so no one went to go see the finale. Maybe people didn't know. Or, a lot of these movies opened under their performance.
So yeah, there might be, especially with everything that's going on right now with just the economy, that might also be a huge factor of people are not going to spend money when they already have the streaming services, and they're like, well, we'll wait till it comes to a streaming service and not go out to a theater or anything.
And damn it,
Yeah.
that's what I have to say about that. Damn streaming. I love it. I love streaming originals. But if they kill box office, if they kill the theater, it's going to be a huge mistake.
Yeah, huge loss. Because a lot of my favorite memories are going to theaters, going to drive-ins, going to...
Drive-ins.
I love drive-ins. I've only been a couple of times, but I'm like, these need to be everywhere again. Like, I know it's hard, especially where we live, because of winter, but
Yes,
because it's like 6 months long, but but during those months, those 3 months of really nice weather, we could get people outside and going. I think that's a great idea, because sometimes going into a theater, you're like, it's so nice out. We don't get so many nice days.
Yes.
I don't want to go to a theater. Yes, it's air conditioned, which is great, but I don't want to go inside and miss all the sunshine.
Yes, and especially after COVID, I realized this more actually working the front of the theater when I would be down with the concessionist instead of up in my little managerial box running the show. If it was beautiful out, once we reopened back from COVID, people were not coming in.
Nope.
It was they were locked in their houses for too long, watching movies, watching the stuff on screens. When it was nice, they did not want to come. If it was snowing, if it was pouring, if it was cold, people came flocking in. If we were not prepared for it to rain that day and it decided to rain one summer day, we were murdered.
Yep.
It was insane.
Yep. And it's, especially here, it's so fickle with our weather that it would be predicted to be fine. And then all of a sudden, they're like, oh, nope, actually, it's going to rain in 2 hours. And you're like scrambling to find people to cover shifts because you know you're going to get slammed.
Yeah. And I'm so happy people are going out and they're being active and they're getting, a real sense of life again, not always being connected to the screens. But still go see these movies because people are working hard. And there are so many great projects on this screen that people need to be seeing.
And it definitely makes a difference if it's that you're going somewhere, you're seeing it on a huge screen, and the atmosphere of, going with friends, going with family, getting that movie theater popcorn, which is my absolute favorite. Like, I can't make that at home. Like, so go out there and support the businesses and the people that are trying to make a living off of the movies and the theaters.
Yes, it is. You're selling the experience, and the experience is still there. So
Definitely.
So bring these numbers up. We want to be talking big numbers on these. We want huge openings. Okay, so let's say our 10. Let's say number 10 for this week. Talk about it, and let's round this up. Let's get our thoughts.
All right.
Number 10, Pathan, the movie from India. Yes. It made 2.8 at the box office this weekend. It had a 61% drop.
Ooh, it's
steep.
Heavy. Yeah. I don't know much about this movie, I will be honest.
I know a little bit. It wasn't on my radar until it came out last week. I missed it. That's on me. It's hard enough to figure out the domestic box office, let alone the international. But it was here, and it was playing in quite a bit of theaters, and a lot of people were really excited about it, and a lot of people had a lot of good things to say. And it opened, I want to say, number 4 or 5. It opened higher.
Oh, okay.
last weekend.
Oh, wow.
I can pull it up. I lowballed it. It opened in 3rd place last weekend.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes.
So that's quite a drop, though.
It is. It did lose 650 theaters. So it lost a huge chunk.
That's a lot, yeah.
That's a lot of theaters to lose in your second weekend,
Yeah.
though. I don't know much about how it works. When movies are coming from different countries here, we typically don't get as much of that as I think we should, because there are great movies all over the world.
Absolutely.
So I don't know how deals are worked, and if that's just something about whatever deal was made, or if it is supposed to be a reflection on the box office. But I heard great word of mouth about this, and it made me want to go see it, and it wasn't even on my radar.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think they could put it back in some theaters. I think people should go see it. I'm sad to see it that low.
Losing that chunk of theaters definitely does not help. I think that, like you said, we should absolutely be getting more foreign films in theaters, because it's just going to, I think, get people in. I know that there were some people that go to the theaters and they're like, we want to watch the theater that is like theaters 7 or 8, the ones that are the smaller ones, quote, on smaller ones. But so that's kind of sad that it started out so high last week and then dropped so much. So I would definitely point to it losing that many theaters, to it losing that much money.
I know. I'm sad. I wish I would have had a chance to see it. I don't it's not in our local box office, which is sad because I would go see it. I know there was a movie RRR that came out last year that people went crazy over, and I couldn't find it anywhere near us.
Oh,
and
gosh.
it broke my heart because I still very much want to see it. The people will not shut up about it, and I need to see it. And I really want to see it on a big screen because that's how people were talking about it. They're like, this is a movie you need to see on a big screen, and I couldn't find it. So I think there needs to be more of that here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so this was our first top 10. This was our first box office breakdown. You know, we're still learning. We're still going.
Yes.
We want to be able to give you guys the best numbers as accurately as we possibly can. We want to give you our thoughts. We want to break it down. We want to know why the movies are doing what the movies are doing. And we will be here uploading every Tuesday for you guys to hear. And we're going to figure it out. We're going to give you these numbers. So give us suggestions, give us your thoughts, your comments, your concerns. If there are people out here that know some part of the box office, like the international, like if there are people out here who know about Pathan, you reach out to us.
Yes.
We need an insider. But yeah, so this was our first breakdown. What other thoughts do you have?
I'm really excited to see these numbers because you did some great research, and I'm just so excited to see this week now that we've got it done, and then next week, it's real now. Like watching these numbers and seeing how everything's going, and watching them rise or fall. Our predictions to see how on point we are with our predictions or how way off base we are. I'm excited to see where this is going to go.
I'm almost so glad that we didn't have our board last week to record because I would have been so wrong.
Really?
I have the draft episode written up somewhere from when we thought we were going to record, and then technology gave us the middle finger, and my predictions were
totally off base.
Totally off.
All right. That's what I'm so excited about, though. I'm excited to see where, especially now because we're so new, where we think we know things, and then just going forward, how much better or worse we think our predictions are going to get.
Yeah, and that's what we're here for. We're here to bring that excitement to our listeners, to people who are big into the movie numbers or just usually like to sit back and watch a movie. We want to bring that to you. We want you guys to be excited about, as Emily said, the rise and the fall.
Yes.
Where things go. What do these numbers mean and why? Let's breathe some life into it other than just it's making a frick ton of money or it really bombed. We want to bring that to you guys. We want you to become a part of it. Give us your predictions as we go on.
Yes.
Are you guys smarter than us about this?
Absolutely.
Probably. So tell us what you think. We'll be back here on Thursday with a box office breakdown. No, box office preview.
Box office preview.
Where we will be giving our very first predictions, and we can see how totally wrong we are.
Oh, yeah. Or if we're spot on and just winning that week.
Yeah, we'll see. Probably not.
Probably not.
But we will be back. We'd love to hear your predictions.
Absolutely.
We can't wait to tell you what's coming, both in the box office and on our show. But yeah, we're excited, and we hope you guys are too. So definitely remember to make sure to leave your suggestions, your thoughts, your comments, your predictions. If there's anything you want us to cover or anything you might know about that we don't.
Yeah, some behind the scenes
Yes.
or your own personal insights on it. Yeah, absolutely.
Educate us.
Yes, because we need it.
Because we don't know everything. We're new. We're just two girls who really have a passion about this and just want to share it with you guys and hope that along the way we nail it.
Yes. Well, we did it. That's all from us. Remember to become a Box Office Club member, to like, subscribe, review, and reach out to us at boxofficeclubpod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you guys.
Stay safe, support your local theaters, tell us your thoughts on this week's box office stories, and we'll see you next time with another segment of
The Box Office Club.